Okay, Gary, day off. Well, practice today, but day between games. What was the focus in terms of recentering after last night's loss?
Staying together, re-emphasizing our game plan for tomorrow, preparing for what we might face tomorrow night. So, just trying to put it all together.
It feels like the Brooklyn Nets play a different brand of basketball. They're a lot smaller. How do you approach that?
They're a lot smaller. They got scores off the bench. They play, zone. So, just a little adjustment of what we need to do. And obviously we need to use the size that we have to our advantage.
What are you seeing out there? Because, for the most part, you had a good game on our last home game. And then last night you got some minutes off the bench. You contributed to winning there, despite the result, of course. But what are you seeing off the bench right now?
Really just trying to come in and impact the game in any way I can. What I see as in regards to our team, we're playing hard. We're trying to find ways to win. We put ourselves in positions and then fight and fall back. We should, do it from the jump. We should be good.
When you guys are figuring out your rotations and things like that, how much time goes into that? Just exactly what the substitution patterns are going to be, and what are some of the factors that go into the choices?
It's a lot of time for sure. Inside coaching staff, we plan those out. We're talking about rotations. We're taking into account multiple things: how team is performing at the moment, how the guys are doing in this setup, in play groups, who's finding the rhythm, injuries, recoveries, minute restrictions. There is so much that goes into it. A lot of times our hands are not completely free because of restrictions on minutes or whatever might be the case, or injuries. But there is a lot of time that we spend planning, but also then sub pattern is also how the other team is going to rotate their guys. Do we need to keep our best defenders on their best offensive players? We'll play 2 stints, 3 stints. A lot of time we spend thinking about that and trying to figure out what's the best against an opponent certain night, but also what's the best for our team. At the same time, having in mind that we try to play more players and develop more players and give more players chance.
Right. And if you kind of is a big focus of you guys to make sure you have 2 of Pascal, Scotty OG, Pascal OG.
Yeah, trying to have at least 2 starters if we can to have on the court at any time. It's not easy to have it at all times, but just trying to have some balance between the second unit as well, and just to help second unit with more offensive force and defensive force in there.
When Scotty's playing in that second unit, he's oftentimes the point guard. What are you seeing from him in that position, especially with that lineup?
He is a point guard not just because he brings the ball up the floor, but he's making plays. I like to call players at that position playmaker more than point guard. He's making plays for us, and sometimes it's going to be him at the elbow and us playing in parts of the Princeton offense. Sometimes it's going to be him setting screens in pick and roll. Sometimes he's going to be using pick and rolls. There's so much versatility to his game and so much for us to continue to develop and improve his game.
What did you see from both Yak last night with his season high in rebounds and points, as well as Gary?
I thought that for the whole game, Jakov was really good. He did a really good job both defensively and offensively. He ended up rebounding the ball really well. He was able to convert all the catches around the rim and score, knock down important free throws towards the end of the game in the fourth quarter. I thought that he overall did a really good job, and we need him to be that type of guy every single game because he helps us so much. I thought that Gary did a really good job first half. I also thought that he had a couple more threes that he could take in the first half that he did not. He's one of the best shooters in our team, one of the best shooters in the league. We want him to take open looks, and with shooters, those shooting strikes, they come and go. But shooters' mentality is if I keep getting shots, I gotta keep taking shots. And that's what we want for him as well. So I thought that his threes last night, all of those were really good shots for us.
I was just kind of doing some research, very dangerous for me. But, you know, and I'm sure your data is much better, but in terms of Pascal and posting up, is the frequency is higher, the efficiency is higher, and is that, I'm talking in previous years, and is that something that has kind of evolved naturally, or is it sort of something you've kind of been building into his options or options as the season's going on?
I think it's a natural progression of our team. We're not forcing any post-ups. We're not calling plays to post up. They happen just as a part of the game. Sometimes it's a mismatch in transition. Sometimes it's just him recognizing that he can get it down there. But also it's him playmaking. You know, a lot of times, like if defense is helping, putting two players on him, he's doing a good job of moving the ball and finding open man. And a lot of times that's going to be a layup or wide open three. So I think that he's doing a really good job when he gets in those situations. But we're not forcing anything. We want to be more of a free-flowing team, playing with really good spacing and creating opportunities for each other.
And his post-ups are like they kind of fit in with that because they're not like super stagnant. Everyone stand, pitch it to him. It's a lot of times he's tacking off the dribble into a post-up.
Right.
So it's
natural.
Yeah.
It's natural. It's not forced. It's natural. He's a good post-up player. He can score, but also he can play make from there as well. And we're constantly talking what else can we add to that game. You know, I don't want to look at him and say like this is it. Like there is no more for his game. You know, I think he can be more 2 feet finisher in the paint, use some more shot fakes, looking for other opportunities there. You know, and he's very open. He's very coachable, very open to talk about those situations and continue adding to his game.
And do you still want to have him shoot threes? It's been a struggle from him from perimeter, but I mean, is it something that maybe he's going to it more because he hasn't been shooting the ball so well from?
You know, I don't think that he's taking 10 shots a game, that he's forcing anything. You know, he got in a little shooting slump, but I think he's going to get out of it. He's putting a lot of work. As far as those shots are wide open shots and created through our offense, he needs to take those shots, and we got to live it with the outcomes and the results of that. And I believe that he's good enough shooter to be in high 30s, close to 40% three-point shooter.
Just one question about Grady. I mean, he's got his second G League game tonight. I don't know if you saw the video from the other game, but it seems to me like he's doing a lot of other things other than shooting quite well. Usually with rookies, that's where you're worried.
Right.
I mean, you know, what are you hoping to get out of these couple of games, and what do you hope he develops?
So it's we talked about that before signing him. This is opportunity for him to find more rhythm. You know, playing on NBA team, playing on a short stint of 5-6 minutes, it's hard to find the rhythm. You know, and this is great opportunity and great setup for us to have a 9-5 team that's just like down the street. And this stretch over here is going to be an opportunity for him to get a couple of games that he can just feel the rhythm of the game. You know, I talked to him and he told me, Coach, before the game, I made every single shot. Then the game started, I missed a couple of shots and, you know, did not make them in a game. You know, he's a good shooter. He needs to work on that. But Michael, you're hitting on a nail with him. I think he's much more than just shot maker. You know, he's a very live body, very, very good cutter. He understands the spacing on the floor, and he's playing at such speed that for now, game is too fast for him. Game needs to slow down for him, and the only way that happens is you just go through it. You just gotta make mistakes. You gotta have success. You gotta learn from it and move on.
Just noticing like an ongoing theme. It feels like players need maybe, I don't know, like a reassurance or something, but where's the balance between players having almost like that self-confidence in making the shot or just knowing when to take a shot, like Gary's case, or, you know, or you letting them know that you want them to take that shot? Like, where is that balance and that read?
Right. We are constantly watching and showing guys on a film. That's a tough, contested, off the dribble shot without any ball movement. We don't want those. Those are really hard. We work so hard on defensive end to get a stop for us to just like to go in ISO and take tough shots early in the shot clock. You know, we need to go into ball movement. We need to be aggressive. We need to touch the paint. If the ball is kicked out and you have wide open shot, you're an NBA player. You gotta be ready to shoot those shots, and you're working on that shot every single day. So you gotta step on the line and make those shots. So it's a part of development, and it feels like every time when you're making strides forward, that happens a game like last game that we make one step back, and we need reminders that we need to, it's never going to be perfect, but can we have 90% of the time like very good ball movement, get good shots instead of sometimes going in and out. So it's just like finding that balance, like how do we connect with each other and how we find the best available shots.